Now let's recap and have a look at what we actually did here. First of all, we looked at the case and considered whether there was any procedure that would qualify the case as a pre-MDC without looking at any principal diagnosis at all. If you remember, it had 11 categories with very serious procedures, mainly transplants. Please review that list, because if there is anything there that the patient had done to them, then that's where the MSDRG process stops. On the other hand, if the patient does not qualify for this, we went on to find the principal diagnosis to make sure that this is 100% correct, because that's the starting point that kind of limits all our choices going forward. From the principal diagnosis, we used Appendix B to decide which major diagnostic category the principal diagnosis will fall into. Then within the major diagnostic category, we further specified whether we had a medical or a surgical case. We decided this based on the procedures listed under the surgical categories. This was on top of the MDC. We did not look at this part of the assignment process, but the grouper would also establish the surgical hierarchy if there was more than one procedure performed, and it would also decide whether the procedure was related or unrelated to the principal diagnosis, because then it goes to a different separate DRG. Whatever the case be, whether it's a medical or a surgical case, we further had to specify whether we had complications, comorbidities, major complications or comorbidities, or none of those. As I said, there are also these important caveats when we decide whether there is a CC or MCC, namely the exclusion list and the hospital-acquired conditions. Please don't forget to check out those videos, because that's a separate process in deciding whether or not you have these. And after this, we were able to filter down our MSDRG to the final 310. Of course, this process was a little bit simplified for us now, because the grouper would also take into consideration the patient's discharge disposition, neonatal age, if there was any special procedure performed for the pre-MDC, and the patient's sex. That's all we had for today. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for being here with me. Don't forget to check out the resources in the description below. There will be the manual for you, the present on admission and hospital-acquired condition video, the CC exclusion list video. These two come with a free quiz, by the way. I also put there a general medical coding study guide with all my best tips, hints, and ideas on how to succeed in your medical coding and auditing career. And there will be a contact info as well. If you have any questions or video requests, please let me know. Thank you again. I will see you soon in our next video.